And
let's go.
And now it's time for Bikes, Mics, and Idiots with your hosts, Ubi and Eric.
alrighty, guys, here we go again. We got us another good, crazy episode. So,
No camera. It's on his motorcycle in his garage.
I know. Well, the thing is, I do got to replace my tire, so
Yeah,
I didn't want to ride all the way out here.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, I'm
so
replacing
just
mine apparently every 2,000 miles because my front brake sticks and the rear tire just spins, and I don't know
Burnouts
what
happen?
Yeah.
So
Let's just say stupid happens. That works really good for me.
idiots happen.
Idiots happen.
Idiots happen. I think I
There
like
you
that
go.
one. We
Make a patch.
should make a sticker. Oh, hey, by the way, guys, we got some stickers that we started making.
Yes.
So if
Bikes,
people are
Mics,
interested,
Idiot stickers are around. Just let us know.
if people were interested, we might start. Hey, you know what?
We should raffle off to the best comment.
There you go. I was gonna say we could start.
A sticker pack to the best comment.
We could start sending out stickers to people that are being involved.
Involved. I like it. Involved.
So
I'm kind of involved-ish.
you're involved in a lot of stuff.
I know. Not for
So-
long. I'm cutting the biggest involvement here pretty soon. We're getting
but
closer.
It's not like that's gonna make any difference. You're
No, it's
national
not.
president of our club,
Yeah.
and that takes up.
A lot of time.
I was gonna say. I was gonna say.
I'm
I was gonna
busy.
say a percentage.
I'm busy.
That takes up about 75.63.5% of your time.
0.5, 0.4.
Oh, okay. I was off by one,
Yeah.
but no, it really does because
Yeah.
guys that don't realize. So
There's a lot of club business.
we've advocated for motorcycle clubs before, 1% clubs, everything like that. All for the most part, because I don't want to be super inclusive on that.
Yeah,
'cause
we
there
want to
is-
generalize. But
There is certain clubs that like, and they're not 1% clubs that don't really do much for community, right? But for the most part, motorcycle clubs do a lot for their community.
Yes.
They really do because it's a community. When
well,
you
and,
get
and with that, there's rules, regulations, requirements that each specific club operates under.
yes,
There's every club has a specific set of rules.
It's like a
that they operate
business.
of. Yeah, it is.
it's like a business if you really think about it.
Yeah.
The rules and regulations are like policies for a
We have
business.
an EIN.
So people don't realize you see someone riding with a cut on,
Yep.
immediately a lot of people turn to, oh,
They're
that's
horrible people.
but realistically, most clubs do a lot for their community.
Yes.
It might not be anything that you're going to see publicly because
Most clubs keep pretty quiet about their charity work. The only reason ours isn't quiet about their charity work is because the idiots talk about it all the time. So,
Well, but not
that's
even
one of
just
the things
that.
we talk about.
When have you ever seen a motorcycle club, besides when it's something bad, get any type of notoriety,
Yeah.
news coverage, anything like that?
Never.
Never.
About the only thing I've ever seen is when they had the VFW riders went to DC.
Mm-hmm.
So was it the Thunder to DC or something like that, or Run to the Wall? Run to the Wall.
Yep.
So the Run to the Wall is one that gets pretty positive attention every year, and that's the ride to the Vietnam Memorial. So
And that's
that
not,
one gets, and it's not necessarily positive, but,
but
there's
it's not
there's
so
positive
much a
stories out of
motorcycle
it.
club either. It's not
No,
so much,
that's everybody.
so
Everybody
it's
goes
kind
to
of
that.
a,
yeah.
so, and then you see, bike week type things where it's Arizona Bike Week, Daytona,
Yep. Oh, there's Sturgis.
Sturgis.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, that just like,
Woo! Bingo.
yeah, had one of those.
No,
moments.
there's bike weeks. There's one in Texas in Galveston. There's a big one in Galveston. God, there's another one like Paradise Island or something like
But
that.
the two big ones, three big ones.
The three big ones are
Beach,
Daytona, Sturgis,
Sturgis, and what was the other one that I just
Arizona
said?
Bike Week is kind of big.
No. There was another one that I just said, right? Or did I say Daytona?
Yeah, you said Daytona.
Oh, damn it.
Daytona.
There's another one.
Sturgis.
There's another one out there in that area.
What is it?
Oh, jeez. It's gonna be one of those days. Sorry, guys. I have the memory of a goldfish.
Oh, look, you just swam around the bowl. Here, he's back. But when you think about that, the run to the wall. But that's not really a club. That's
it's more just it's like a quasi club.
Yeah.
Because it's
just a run that anybody can go on, and it's really cool. So I know I met one of the ladies who does a certain portion of that run at the Warrior Shield Foundation last year.
Oh, really?
In September, yeah. So Heidi does like a certain section of the run, and she's a BA. Oh yeah, she's bad. So she rides out to California to start the run for the wall and rides the whole thing.
That's awesome.
She's awesome. And her attitude is just amazing. She's just so cool.
But so that's kind of what I was saying is people get this kind of bad idea when they see a cut. But we do a lot for the community.
Well, and honestly, I think bikers are some of the most patriotic people.
Oh, look at you.
Oh,
look at
that.
you.
That's called a Segway.
Oh.
Not the ones we ride. Because I'd probably crash that too.
I was going to say, those things,
they're dangerous. The off-road ones, they'll kill you.
Wasn't that how the person that invented Segway unalived himself?
I have no idea, to be honest.
Well,
I don't want to speak on it if I don't know. So that wouldn't surprise me. Those things are dangerous.
It rode off a cliff, I think, and that's like.
I could see that because those things have a mind of their own. They really do.
Well, and it's just one of those things. It's like it going into AI type things. It doesn't read your mind.
So that's
it's
something we got to talk about too again, because I know we meant to on the last episode, and then we
squirreled.
We squirreled to a tiny bladder.
That we did.
But honestly, like,
if we're gonna go there,
when you really look at like.
If we're gonna go there,
like,
just give me a
look
second.
At, like,
here we go.
Bladder is the size
we squirrel too
of a ping pong ball. Ping pong balls. So like when I see like tatted up Harley riders, and you look at it, almost every single one has an American flag somewhere.
Okay, so here's the funny thing.
Like that,
since you're saying,
and I say Harley, I'm going to include Indian on that, even though they're not the oldest. If you take out their time that they weren't around, I'm just saying, it's just we're going to talk semantics there. But Indian was the oldest motorcycle company in the United States. I will give them that. They were the first established.
Harley didn't make Harley bikes when, actually they did make a couple decent ones during AMF years. I was going to say they didn't really.
They were bowling pins, but it's still American manufacturing.
That is true. I will give you that. Absolutely.
So be careful. Be careful. But I mean, that's the same thing as like when Ford Taurus, like when the Ford built the SHO.
Oh yeah.
It had a Yamaha engine.
Still great.
Yeah, the Ford Taurus SHO turbo was a Yamaha engine. Mm-hmm. Now get this. Guess who tuned the
LFA?
The LFA. The LFA exhaust was tuned by Yamaha engineers.
Huh.
I love it.
Wait,
that's why it sounds so amazing.
Have you ever seen that little clip, that little reel or whatever you want to call it, of a guy being like playing on a piano, and he's like, went into a Yamaha store and playing on a piano. I was looking for this. I'm also in the market for motorcycle. Oh, hey, by the way,
Yamaha does that.
I'm also in the market
for a boat. Yamaha does that. They really do. Yamaha is a very, very big brand. They do a whole bunch of different stuff.
So, funny thing about Yamaha, the logo.
Yeah, I had to think about it for a second. I'm like, yeah, okay.
What is the logo?
I have no idea.
It's tuning forks.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's 3 tuning forks.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
It is tuning forks.
Oh, makes sense.
Crazy, right?
Hey, they did the LFA, which has one of the best sounding exhausts of a car ever. Like that is that's one of the only cars I can honestly say I would never put an exhaust on.
That one, there's Ferraris.
Yeah, there's a couple Ferraris.
Certain Ferraris, because that's what they do.
Yeah,
is that they tune their exhaust to sound a certain way.
Lambos do the same thing. Not quite the
Ferrari.
same though.
No, it's not.
And Porsche just sound, honestly, I love Porsche. They just sound like a freaking vacuum cleaner.
Oh my God. On the way in, I forgot to tell you about this.
That's all it sounds like.
So off topic right here, but on the way in, we were coming in and I had to stop at the gas station. And I was like, that's kind of random. I saw 2 Porsches next to each other. It was a Boxster and a Macan.
Okay.
Parked right next to each other. And kept driving in. And then I see off on the way in the other parking spots over here, like another 3 or 4 Porsches. And I was like,
Some sort of meetup.
that's kind of weird.
Yep.
And then my girlfriend was like, no, that's kind of normal out here. I was like, no, it really isn't.
Well, last
That
weekend.
many many in a
last
row.
weekend for the Brian Terry run that we had down here in Tombstone, there was a McLaren P720, a Ferrari, I don't know what it was. It was a drop top Ferrari. I don't know the models of Ferraris. A GT3. So like these sports car guys all met up at the Roadrunner.
Really?
Little tiny gas station in Vale. They all met up from there and then took off to go somewhere else.
See, that's cool as hell. But on top of it, so I was like,
me
and her had a
you
little
gotta remember, Saturday, I want to say Saturday mornings, Crown Automotive does cars and coffee every day or every Saturday. And they go up to Top Golf is usually where they do it. So that everybody will meet here and then they all drive up there.
Well, so check it out. So that it was those, what did I say?
4 or 5 or so.
So then 6. Then I actually pulled into the gas station because I had to go around the back way. Pulled into the gas station.
One around the back.
There's another one there. Oh, hey, there's another one right where I'm parking. Oh, hey, another one pulled up. I was like, there's no way. There has to be some kind of Porsche thing going on this weekend because there's no way you're going to see 9, 10-ish Porsches all together.
Well, remember, it's Green Valley and all the old people are back now.
That is true. We are hitting that season. We are hitting.
It is that season for us. Snowbird season's back. So those are the people who have like, oh, I've got my house in Montana and I've got my house in Green Valley. It's all over the place.
But it just caught me off guard. You know what I mean? I was like, normally you'll see 1, maybe 2. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like the lower end ones. You know,
I'll tell you, whatever Ferrari that guy had last weekend or the weekend before that, it was pretty. He started it up and we were all like, huh? All the Harley guys, all the motorcycle riders were all like, huh. It was a V12 for sure. Drop top, and it had the hard cover over for the loops.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous. Of course, Ferrari red.
Most Ferraris
they're just beautiful.
They're just beautiful cars.
I want to say a California, but I can't 100%.
California's a drop top front engine.
Yeah. So this was not a front engine. I can tell you right now.
So it's not a California. California's front engine drop top.
So then a 430 maybe? Because it made a 430.
430 is a V8. Right?
It was a V12 for sure because the way it sounded.
So it could be like an 812 super fast, something like that.
Okay, huh? You know those better than I do.
So this is the thing: newer Ferraris. I'm kind of starting to fall off the wagon a little bit with the newer ones because their styling is like, this isn't typical Ferrari.
I hear God.
Uh-oh.
God's back. Oh, not good. We want to thank one of our founding sponsors who helped make all this possible. The Legion of St. Michael Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club International is a 501c3 charitable organization that focuses on first responder and military families in need.
The Legion of St. Michael was founded in 2014 in Chicago, Illinois, in memory of fallen officers. If you are interested in helping to support the Legion of St. Michael in their endeavors to assist first responders and military families, please reach out to a local chapter or contact the Idiots for a link for donations.
Okay. So anyway.
How much of our money did they spend?
Yes.
Yeah, probably. No, but like the newer stuff, I don't know if you've seen any of the newer.
Yeah,
some of them are gorgeous, and then some of them are just like, it doesn't look like a Ferrari
here's
anymore.
My thing is like, I'm not without shows like the Grand Tour or Top Gear that I don't watch. Like I don't watch the new Top Gear. I don't like it.
It's not the same.
So I can't keep up with the new, because that's kind of where you got like, okay, wow, I like that one, or no, that was not. I don't keep up with the new cars anymore because they're so far out of my price range.
Okay, so
it's not even worth it.
Let's go into that a little bit. So back in the day, it was you were in the grocery store or whatever, and you saw that Motor Trend magazine, and you flipped through it a little bit, or you bought it, or the auto. What was the auto? And
Auto Trader,
not Auto Trader. There was an auto one, and then there was a car.
There was like a Merle's one.
Car and Driver. Motor Trend and Car and Driver were the two big ones, and then there was like Auto something and whatever. And you'd sit
Auto
there,
Week.
or you'd buy them.
Yeah.
And you'd sit there and see, oh, this new Porsche does this, this new Ferrari does this.
Yeah.
That's really falling off a lot.
Now, honestly, I watch Carwell.
Well, and that's the thing. A lot of these independent YouTube channels and stuff like that have taken over.
Yep.
Where Motor Trend has a channel, Car and Driver has a channel.
I don't watch either of them.
I'd rather watch these other
I'd
guys.
rather
that
watch
do it.
Carwell because they're funny.
Yeah. Well, not even just that. Like, you feel like it's a more honest opinion.
Well, yeah, because
the car.
I mean, forever, everybody said they're going to rate the BMW 3 Series the best car, and for
They were
years,
great.
Which honestly,
They were great.
there was a reason for years that everybody based the performance of your car or the majority of cars off
Off
of
of
BMW
M3.
3 Series, off the M3,
M3.
because it was that good of a car.
Yeah. Well, that was
That
their
was like
thing.
the benchmark. It had good power, good handling, good
The
kind of good everything.
the weight ratio
Yep.
was
50-50.
fairly close.
50-50.
It wasn't 50-50 because the
close,
Miata
like, yeah.
was, but it was as close as
Yeah, but you didn't
pretty
have to
much
turn
for
your
the most
man
part.
card in if you drove an M3,
An M3 or a Miata.
an M3. You have to turn your man card if you have a Miata.
Miata. not
If you
M3.
drive a Miata on the street, turn in your man card. If you
M3?
take it to racing, then you can keep your man card.
I don't fit in those. I don't really think.
No, like the windshield comes up to here on me.
The roll bar has to be up here. The windshield's here.
Yeah, I have to wear a helmet because I'm going to get bugs on my forehead if I drive a Miata.
Like when Jeremy Clarkson
Oh my
drove the Atom,
Oh yeah,
and then he threw a helmet on.
and his face is like his jowls are flapping in the wind.
No, but so we grew up in an era where Lamborghinis were your poster cars.
Oh yeah, beautiful to look
Lamborghinis.
at. Terrible friggin' cars.
But
Like they'll even tell you like how to back up a Lamborghini was to open the door and stick
Countach.
your head out.
The Countach, you had to
Yeah.
jump on the side right there and like look over the side.
Like
They actually taught
great
that.
cars, not great, like awesome cars, but not great cars. Very fragile. Back in the day, they were super fragile.
But that was the thing, though. Like they made poster cars,
Oh
right?
yeah, because they're that beautiful. They were for form and not function. Now, and that's why I think like the Ferraris and Lambos are changing how they look because they're function and form.
Yeah.
So they're
They're getting a
focusing
little
on
bit of both.
they're balancing that function and form.
But they get me personally. This is me personally. I'm not going to say the one-off.
Lamborghini still makes tractors.
Do they? Oh, they do.
They do.
So
Anyway,
Lamborghini.
they're sexy tractors.
I
They come with Italian models. Did you know that?
I wish.
Yeah, right.
No, but
Oh, hey, how many
Lamborghinis.
acres do you have? A quarter acre. And you have a Lamborghini tractor? Yep. Yes, I do.
no, the Lamborghinis now, the newer ones, the only ones I'm really like that could be a poster car is their very limited run ones.
Yeah.
So like
The LP
from
6,
like the
680 or-
No, not even those. Like the Centenario,
Okay, yeah.
like it was full carbon fiber, all
Yeah.
that stuff. Like they're very limited run.
Yeah.
Not the
Not the Urus.
not the what?
Not the Urus. The Lamborghini Urus. Actually,
is-
for an SUV, it is a bad SUV, though.
Oh, it is.
honestly is a bad SUV.
But it's like
Shh,
those.
shh.
Uh oh.
Somebody's coming in. Oh, hello, God. Is God going to have a White Claw? Excellent.
So
Yeah.
the Lamborghinis though, they're more limited run cars are the
Yeah.
ones that are like poster cars now.
Well, yeah, because, and I hate to say it, because they've become normal.
And it's not cool. Like that's not the thing I want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I used to get super excited about the Countach or the Diablo. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And then the Murcielago, I'd say, was kind of that
The
tipping
F40
point.
for me, like I still think the F40 is one of the best looking cars.
Gorgeous.
And it's not even like performance wise, like looks wise. It's not their best looking. It's just there's something about it.
It's stripped out on the inside.
There's
like,
something
it's not
about it.
It's not a luxury car on the
It's
inside.
kind of like my soul stripped out of the inside.
You know, but it is though, because like the door handles are little like pull tabs.
Straps.
Yeah, it's like little pull tabs.
like a little canvas strap. I love it.
it's great though. Like
It's purpose built.
but the Lamborghinis and stuff like that, they're not there. F40 is a Ferrari,
Yep.
but that's still a car.
Even the Porsches. No offense, the 911 looks the same. For the last 20 years, it looks
it's
very
just
similar.
gotten chunkier. Do you know what? It's got a dad bod now.
It's got a dad bod, but it's still faster than the old one.
Oh, it's amazing.
And to be honest, I think honestly with the Porsche, like adding that weight just helped it.
Oh, yeah.
It just needed more weight.
Well, because they were off balance.
Yeah.
They were never, like the old ones were never close to 50-50. No. It was very rear bias.
Yeah.
So
Which is why they launch great. I mean, those things launch phenomenal. Like,
but they spun around corners. Mm-hmm. So that's why M3 was very, like, this is the
I think they were like
car.
53, 47 forever.
And then they went down to like 52, 40, 48.
Yep.
And then they got really close. There were,
49,
I think the CSLs, certain
51,
CSLs were
49,
51-49.
Yep.
I think the CSLs were that.
Which honestly, under braking is a good thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially breaking into a corner, you got to kind of
And then you can trail brake the back end out and slide it good. And
trail braking is a
handleable.
motorcycle thing, but keeping the brake on into the corner.
We actually teach trail braking for our pursuit driving.
True. It's not called trail braking though.
Yeah, it is.
That's a motorcycle term.
It's a car term too. Look it up. Oh,
All right,
here we
we're gonna
go.
look this up. We're
What
going to
is
look it
trail
up.
braking? And it's going to say for cars or motorcycles, guaranteed.
What is trail braking? Trail braking is a driving and motorcycle riding technique where braking is continued beyond the point where a vehicle begins going to a corner. Okay.
A motorcycle is not a vehicle.
So it says
AI
a
is wrong
driving
again,
and
so we're
motorcycle.
talking about
No, it says
AI.
a driving and motorcycle.
Oh, okay. So we're both right.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
It's okay.
It's kind of like
But-
Indian or Harley. They're both American bikes.
That is true.
Although BMW's a new bike. Well, I say new. It's been around for a little bit, but
So I know you
nice.
said you wanted to talk about that. The new BMW R18T.
I think it's
yeah. They got it.
whatever their model is.
R18
It
model
looks like the Street Glide. I'll tell you, it's for the money. It comes with the Marshall sound system. It comes with the big infotainment center. It's got good power, good horsepower, good torque.
but it's mid control because of that R18 engine, the boxer
Yeah, it's because
engine.
the boxer engine, but I don't care.
Would you ride it?
Oh, yeah.
I would take it out on a spin. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I want to see how it would ride before I'd really. So the thing is,
Well, but that's the thing, though.
It's
Like,
going to come with a center stand, and there's a reason for that. So if you put them on the side stand, it'll leak fuel and oil into the cylinder heads. So
Yeah,
you have to make.
'cause
That's
it's
why they
very-
all come stock with a side stand, or with a
Center
center
stand.
stand. But I'll tell you, for the money,
yeah.
it comes in around 22 grand.
Mm-hmm.
It's about $8,000 less than a Harley, and about $8,000 less than the equivalent Indian. And you've got shaft drive, so rock solid there.
Yeah. Don't really ever have to maintain it. Especially
Well, I mean,
most
yeah, you
people.
just change fluids.
Well, I'm
but
saying,
most
most
people will
people-
never. You're never really.
You're never going to hit that
You're
point.
never going to overpower it
That too.
because that stuff's solid.
But you're never, most people, generalities again,
Yeah.
most people are never going to hit that point where they need to actually maintain the drive shaft.
No.
Because you're not going to hit so many miles.
No, what they'll do
You'll
is
get a new one.
they'll just change it out on a regular service. They'll just change out the fluid.
Yeah.
And there's
but,
only rear case fluid on it. It's not because I've had a shaft drive before. My Boulevard that I had was
Your
shaft
Boulevard.
drive.
Yep.
And I did all that service on it. And I was like, I changed it out, and the oil looked new on it. I mean, I had almost 60,000 miles on the bike when I changed it out, and the oil in the rear end looked new.
Oh, there you go.
So I mean,
There's
I'm not
something to
getting
say
rid of my
about
bike.
that. No,
still
absolutely
not getting rid of my bike.
No.
But it's an interesting option for those guys that are like, I don't want to be on a Harley or an Indian.
Yep.
But I don't know why you wouldn't want to be on a Harley or an Indian because they are the most American bikes.
That is true. Indian, I think, last I had seen, more parts are American made, all that kind of stuff. But those are the American brands,
Yes.
right? That's your go-to cruiser.
Yeah, I mean, Indian didn't fight in World War II like the Harleys did. I'm just saying.
They made bikes for it though. They just didn't get the contract.
Yeah, they broke too much.
But
We've switched that now. The Harleys break way more now. But yeah, it's but like when we were at Bike Week, how many American flags did you see?
oh, a ton. So this is great getting into it. So
A segue again. That's the
You know, we're
second
gonna have
segue
to-
we've used.
so Arizona riding season.
Oh my god.
That brings us into Arizona Bike Week, Arizona riding season. When is Arizona riding season?
Every month except August.
July until it's like a
End of
it's like a
July, middle of Au-
35,
35,
40
40
day
days,
window.
and it's just too damn
That's
hot.
like end
Like
of
I'll do
July.
it, and I've done it. But that's when I turn into like a night rider. I'm like, and we're not going to ride during the day. We're going to do an evening ride, boys.
Oh, hey, you want to go out at 5 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah. Be back
Or-
by 7 a.m.
Yeah. Or go out at 5 o'clock at night?
Yeah, that's like that's like when we do the breakfast ride or you do the the late night ride.
Yeah, because it's
just too damn hot.
It's the opposite of every other state.
Yeah,
honestly.
you can't drink enough water to stay hydrated.
And then if you
can't stay
if you
cool.
do hit any kind of traffic,
The bikes cook.
the bikes are cooking. That's why I love mine because of the liquid cooled. It stays cooler.
Yeah, I put the oil cooling fan on mine. I'll tell you when that thing kicks on, it's like, and all
that's
I
the
can
thing.
feel is my feet are on fire. I'm like, oh my god, this is terrible.
So I remember riding yours,
Yeah,
and I think that's
it's
before you
hot.
got the big engine.
Yeah,
And it was still warm at the time, and I rode it.
it's like
and I was
95.
oh my god, my bike is nowhere near this hot.
Oh yeah. Well, it's because all the heat comes off the heads. That's what they're designed to do.
And
That's
it's-
what cool
which
heads.
is great.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh
They
my
cook
god,
your
I
legs.
can't imagine riding this
Yeah.
in extreme because it wasn't during that
No,
time.
it was only
period.
like 90 something. It wasn't that hot out that
and I was
day.
just like, oh man, that's a significant
It
difference.
is a difference.
However, my bike still gets warm in
Oh,
the
yeah.
summertime. Like it
And stalls out because it's hot.
that was once because my fans didn't kick up. Well, not once. That was a little persistent thing that I got fixed
Yeah,
eventually.
yeah, it was an ECU issue.
But Tennessee, Georgia, no, not
That
good for my
humidity
bike.
was terrible. I don't care who you are. That was hot. Like when you sweat through a leather vest, you know it's been hot.
How do you sweat through a leather vest though? That's the thing.
I did.
Yeah.
So did you.
I'm sure I got some stains on
So
mine.
did another guy. God, he went through like 3 vests that day. Like, oh my god.
He went through a couple changes of clothes.
Yeah. But it was also 98% humidity and like 95 degrees. It was terrible.
We were swimming through the air.
And the only part of it was nice is when we took off ahead of everybody because we got some, like, we weren't going fast, but we just a nice steady speed. And it was like, oh.
Well,
And then you
on
get in the
top of
sun,
it,
you'd be like, oh God. And you get in the shade, you'd be like, oh.
it feels so good.
Yeah.
But it was on top of it. It's not those other bikes around you
All
pushing
the extra
air around.
heat. Oh my God. The heat
It's-
everywhere. Like,
You're
we
getting
had-
straight air. From,
yeah, we had straight clean air to breathe in.
so that made a huge difference. But Arizona, it's those certain days. People still ride.
Yeah.
Granted, people still ride, and we do it. We've done it. I've been in traffic during those during those days.
Yeah.
During those years.
Well,
And but
that's where
traffic-
you're like, you've got cooling vests, you got whatever you can do. Like, I've gone into the gas station and like poured water like into my shirt. Like,
Yeah,
I need water. I need to cool down.
just some evaporation. You're an evaporative cooler at that
Yeah,
point.
exactly.
But Arizona is it's one of those odd things because riding season, almost everywhere else,
Yep.
the times you're not really riding
Yep.
is wintertime.
Yeah, and then there's still like about a month in winter that you're like, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm going to put
I-
on a little extra.
Yeah, I'm gonna put some extra stuff on. My big thing is if it's gonna be well below 30. So like we've had upper 20s, lower 30s. If they're, I'm not gonna ride in that if I can avoid it.
Oh, hey, it reminds me of that one day we did a podcast and I rode out and it was in the low 30s.
Yeah.
And then I got here and you're like, hey, let's take the truck to lunch.
Yeah,
I mean, you were joking with me, but I was like, the look on my face.
Oh, you
I'm
wanted
sure.
to kill me. You wanted to murder me. We took the bikes anyway, but
No,
well,
it was
by
great,
lunchtime
though.
it was like 70 degrees. It
Yeah,
was
it was
beautiful.
gorgeous. It was
40
gorgeous.
degree swing in one day.
But I was about to kill him. I was like,
But
that
yeah,
one's
well,
gonna-
that's like the weird thing with this season. Like there's times in the winter where it's like you can do the ride. Like I drove to work pretty much all winter. But there was like a couple of days I was like, yeah. I'd get home, I'd be like, yeah, it was cold.
It was not a good choice.
It was not fun.
But that's a different thing than anywhere else, really.
Oh yeah, I mean Florida's about the same.
Florida probably
because their humidity's just in the summer.
But it's
terrible.
probably the humidity that gets you.
It's nice. It's not
probably
the heat necessarily. It's the humidity.
I can't ride because it's too humid. It's
as you're driving,
degrees,
you can feel the air cutting around, like you're cutting through the air. You're not actually like riding.
It's not aerodynamics anymore. It's hydrodynamics.
It's hydrodynamics because that's just in the air. As you drive, there's a contrail coming around you, like off a plane wing. Like, oh,
we should ask Shadow.
Yeah, well, he's out there now.
He's out there now. But
yeah, it's brutal.
The Arizona weather is just, it's one of those things. And that's
if you don't like it, wait 5 minutes.
Well, that's why we have so many snowbirds.
Yep.
If you really think about it, like snowbirds come down here. We have literally in the Tucson area,
the population almost goes up by 25% in the winter.
That too. But I'm saying, I was getting at, we have a little area that's called Winter Haven.
Yep.
And we have an area that's still technically-ish Tucson that's called Summer Haven.
Yep. Yeah.
Because we have so many snowbirds.
Yep.
Like, that's just ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
So growing up in New York, did you guys have stuff like that?
Well, I mean, in New York, a lot of retirees, I'll say, they would go to Florida. So, like, every fall, you'd see the mass exodus of people leaving to go to Florida.
That reminds me of, like...
Well, my parents are the same thing. They got a condo in Florida. Well, they go there in the winter.
That's what I'm saying. That reminds me of, like, back in the 90s, you'd see on shows and stuff like that, and they'd be like, oh, yeah, retired. I got a condo in Florida now.
Yep.
And
they still have their house up north.
I wonder why.
Come on. I mean, in August, September especially, because you start getting the hurricane season. So once you're in the hurricane season, a lot of people just, we're out.
Yeah, don't want to deal with that.
We lose the house. Whatever. We got insurance.
We got another place to live in.
Yeah.
Which, if we're going into kind of places to live in, the economics, who knows if that's still going to be a thing? That might be like remember back in the day when they used to joke about having...
when you used to have a second home?
You know what I mean? Like my retirement place, I had a place to go to in the summer, but
I got tariffed out of that one.
You know what though? Realistically, tariffs aren't the worst thing.
No. It's all the hysteria is leveling out about that now. So,
well, okay. So let's talk about that a little bit, because people don't realize this is something that most people don't know. Dairy goods going into Canada from the U.S.
243% tariff, or something like that. It's like it's in the high 200s.
Insane amount. Why? But we don't. Oh, but you guys shouldn't be putting tariffs on other people.
Yeah.
Why? They do it to us.
Yeah. The United States is the most tariffed country in the world.
And we don't even have near as much exports as certain countries.
Yeah.
Saying like China. Because I guarantee you, everybody that's watching, I guarantee you have something in your hand, on your person, or within arm's reach that is made in China.
China. Yes.
Right?
Absolutely. Half of our equipment was made in Taiwan.
Most likely.
American components, Russian components, all made in Taiwan. What movie?
Don't know. You know I suck at these.
I don't want to miss a thing.
No, not Apollo. It's the one where they blow up the meteorite. What is it called? Oh, geez. Come on, just give it to me. Just give it to me.
Nope. Deep Impact was the other one.
It has Ben Affleck. It has Armageddon.
Boom! There you go.
There we go. Jesus.
So yeah, he's in the space station. He's smacking the crap out of the thing on the spaceship, because they were getting ready to lift off and it wouldn't
Yeah.
work. And he's like hitting it, Russian components, American components, all made in Taiwan. I'm not dying here. And then
That was
it
a
worked.
great movie.
It was.
Though.
It was a
That
good
was a
movie.
great.
A lot
movie.
of talent. Like Liv Tyler, honestly, I didn't think she was a great actor until I saw that movie. She did good. And
But
then she became like a weird elf thing for Lord of the Rings, which she did a good job on that, honestly. She did. That was a good one.
Actually, I'm going to add that to our topics about movie things because the whole Disney stuff lately. So
Yeah, not today. We're not
So
doing that one
guys-
today.
tune in for one of our next episodes. We don't know when it's going to come up because we got a lot of good things to talk about. But one of our next episodes, we'll talk about movies.
The fall
and
of Disney.
The fall of Disney. Yeah, that should be the title of it.
Yep.
Because it's insane what's been happening.
Yeah. But no, I'd like to get back to the whole patriotic
The
writers.
The writers, right?
Like that's
so
like huge.
So okay, so you think about it. So that topic that you're talking about,
Yeah.
we talked about it before, is motorcycle
Riders.
I'm just carried over.
Yeah.
Just call me Porky Pig from now on. Motorcycle riders are usually patriotic,
Yeah, I would say that's 100% true.
and it has nothing to do with political affiliation.
No. They're flying American flags. You know, the POW. I see POW flags on motorcycles all the time.
Absolutely, yes,
All the time.
or the stickers,
Yep.
or the stickers.
But at Bike Week, you could look at all these RVs. So there's just
It's
giant.
a sea of
It's a
RVs.
sea of RVs and tent sites, and almost every RV, or every 2 to 3, I'll say every 3 to 5 RVs.
Okay.
There's an American flag. They'd have a Harley or an Indian flag. They'd have a thin blue line flag.
Yes.
They would have Navy. We had
Marines.
Navy, Marines. We had. I didn't see any Army flags.
I didn't.
I didn't see any Army flags.
I didn't see an Air Force flag either. I don't remember.
I did see
You
one.
did?
I saw one.
Okay, so
I
I-
think so.
Was it when we were riding Ruckuses?
Yes.
Okay.
So it may or may not have been true. But honestly, like it's when you look at those bikes, like when you think about like who came out, like let's go right to World War II.
Yeah.
The guys came out of the military and they started riding bikes
Because
they were introduced to them overseas.
Yes.
And
And we saw that. Remember
Yeah.
when we had nationals?
Yep.
We went and saw
The Harley-Davidson Museum. Oh my gosh, so amazing!
They had-
Like, whether or not you're a Harley fan, just the things that those guys like. They created a two-wheel drive bike
So okay, so we'll
for
throw this
delivering
out there.
mail, and it was the Women's Mail Corps rode
that bike.
all those bikes to go deliver mail to the guys on the front, and you're like, I never knew about that.
Yeah,
Well,
But
like,
that's what
that
I'm
was
saying.
the first time I
That's
ever
where
heard that.
That's where I was going to go with this. Is I'm an Indian dude. People know that. That's a well-known.
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, you're wearing
How-
an Indian shirt, an Indian hat.
Oh, I wonder why. No,
Same
but-
matches your mic.
But what did I do when we got to that portion of the Harley Museum?
We stopped and started taking pictures and like
Was I
talking
not-
about it.
was
We were
I
like
not,
watching
like-
the video, like, oh my god, this is amazing. And that's with anything, and just the contributions that Harley made to the war effort.
Yeah. Well, and okay, so
Now they
just-
got. It wasn't altruistic. Let's be honest.
No,
they got paid.
Oh, absolutely. But just to defend Indian on this one,
Yeah.
they did make.
They did make a contract.
They tried.
They attempted
did.
to get
They
the
did get a contract, but they didn't get the Harley contract.
Yeah,
They
that
got.
was a big contract.
They got a smaller contract that was, and they made so many, and it wasn't a significant amount like Harley did, but they did, and they. But that's
Well, and honestly, what that came down to, I think, was the ability for production.
Yeah.
Harley was built for that production already.
yes,
Indian
It
was not ready at that point.
It was kind of that Ford model concept that during that time they had adopted it.
Harley had already had the big concept for assembly line production.
Yes, and Indian wasn't so much there.
Yep.
So that it makes sense. Indian did have a contract during that time too. They did. They actually did. It was
Like 4 bikes, I think. Is
no. It was. It might have been something around like 400. Where Indian,
it was-
where
yeah, it was
Harley
small.
had like thousands.
Yeah.
it was a small number, but everyone does that. You think
yeah.
about
I mean,
any
that's-
kind of contracts.
The Idiots want to thank Sketchy Alias, one of our founding sponsors, for everything he has done for us. Sketchy works in vector-based design and has been working in the design field for 15 years.
His designs have been used on coins, apparel, websites, and logos. Sketchy is also a veteran who serves this great nation. Thank you for your friendship, work ethic, and service. Ford was building Jeeps. GM built Jeeps. Remington built Jeeps.
Well, and then you look at that. It's because they had a manufacturing.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they had a
Ford
manufacturing.
built bombers. They've never built planes before in their lives, and they had bombers rolling off the assembly line. And it was just a matter of who can mechanically make this happen. Because the war, like,
Did they make the Mustang
They made
engine?
Shermans. Yeah, they did actually.
Ford made Mustang engines too.
No, I don't.
I was
think
going to
they
say
did.
I don't think they.
The Mustang was what engine was that in the P-51?
I just thought it was funny because
That's a
Mustang.
Mustang. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they didn't make the Mustang engine, but I don't think anyway. I think it was a Continental engine.
Either way,
Continental's been like not Lincoln Continental, but Continental is their
yeah.
own company. They've been making aerospace or airplane engines for
Well,
ever. They
Rolls-Royce.
still make them.
Rolls Royce makes.
Oh, the
airplane
Merlin,
engine.
the Rolls Royce Merlin engine. Oh my God! If I could get my hands on one of those, I would build it into a car.
right?
I would totally build it into a car like
Have you
Jay Leno did. His car is amazing with the Merlin engine in it.
Oh, I know.
I want one so bad.
I would love to just have like a field day in Jay Leno's garage.
I would like to just get a tour in Jay Leno's garage. So Jay Leno,
too.
if you're listening, which you're probably
Probably
not, just know that we would love to have a tour and we would love to talk to you and everything off camera, off
We
video,
would-
off. I just want.
I don't care.
I want to obtain 1/100,000th of your knowledge, like because you honestly are one of the most knowledgeable car people on the planet, and it just
It's
I have
because he's
such
driven so much.
I have
though.
so much respect for you and what you do. Like that, that's amazing.
But it's because he's driven so many
Oh yeah,
different things.
like he's been into a situation where he's been able to do that, and God bless him for it.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. I'd love to be that guy. Be like, yeah, you see that car park over there? That's all my cars.
Yeah,
That's basically what he does.
he's got a warehouse.
Yeah, he's got a warehouse full of cars.
Yeah,
That he
I have a garage full of a golf cart. You want to talk about an old golf cart? I got you. But like honestly, it's just the impressive things that happen in a wartime effort, like tanks coming off the Ford line. Like Ford
Yes.
Motor Company made tank engines.
and you think about it,
Yeah.
it realistically okay. So for people that
And I'm
don't
not
know,
saying
we're
GM
talking-
didn't help because GM did as well because GM had their own version as well. Chrysler did as well.
Yeah,
Chrysler made the
Dodge.
Crossfire.
Yeah.
The Crossfire engine, which was it was utilized a lot in the Sherman tanks, in the earlier Sherman tanks.
So, but a lot of people don't realize that during that time, so there was a time period for the people that don't know, because a lot of people don't
Not anymore.
realize what history is.
It happened in the past.
In the 1900s, back in your day. No,
Yeah,
so
because you're born after 2000, weren't you?
I wish 87.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm 78, so we're not
Ooh, inverted.
two sides of a different. I was
That one.
inverted.
That's why you're Harley and I'm Indian.
Yeah,
makes sense.
The fact that we both said that at the same time. High five.
High five. No, so people don't realize that there was a time period that car manufacturers didn't make cars. There's no cars from.
It was like 45 to like 48
Wasn't it?
or 49, wasn't it?
Wasn't it 39 to? I don't remember.
Well, no,
I
because
don't remember the years.
because
Okay,
because
I can look
December
it up.
7th, 1941 is when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. So it wouldn't have been before December 7th, 41
Let's see.
because we were not involved. We were still doing Lend-Lease at the time, but I know there was like 2 years or 3 years. I want to say it was like
There
42 to
there was
45.
2 or 3 years that car manufacturers didn't make
Any
any
cars.
cars whatsoever.
I want to say 42, 45, something in that general area. So let's look it up. Come on, AI, which we were going to talk about, but we're not going to have time today because we have squirreled multiple times today in this episode.
Let's see.
Me.
The U.S. car manufacturers halted passenger car production from February 1942 to October 1945.
What did I say?
You were pretty damn close.
I said 42 to 40, or did I say
it was
42,
39
45?
when it started.
I said
It
42,
was 41,
45.
yeah.
What? Man, it's almost like I know stuff because I'm old.
Because you were alive during those
I was
days.
born earlier. I was born closer to, this is the craziest stuff. I was born closer to World War II than I am today.
That's crazy, ain't it?
That's why my back still hurts after 3 weeks.
So, but a lot of people don't know that. So
No, that's
essentially, there's no U.S. cars from those years.
Yeah. And I would say probably if you looked at Germany as far as, well, no, because they were making the Volkswagens, because Volkswagen was created by that guy
Yeah.
to be the people's car.
I was going to say the people's car.
But Porsche
Based
and
on a
Volkswagen,
Volkswagen.
and all that, they were all building tanks at the time, like trying to do the new tank designs, which Ferdinand Porsche's design of a diesel generator to an electric motor is actually what runs. Well, we've talked about that in the past podcast about the power packs and all that stuff. But so that it's crazy. Like when you think about it, like that production, the ability for the U.S. to just go, and now we're building more stuff.
Yep.
And within months. So you think December 7th, 41, Pearl Harbor got bombed. By February of 42, all U.S. production of automobiles stopped.
And
they're building.
And what ship got
tank-
bombed?
What's that?
What ship got bombed?
The USS Arizona.
USS
Well,
Arizona.
that's the one. Well, a ton of
That's the
ships
one
got bombed. That's the one
that
that's
got sunk.
that stayed there and rolled upside down. They couldn't get people out. And I want to say they're down to, I read something the other day that they're down to like the last 5 or 6 USS Arizona survivors that are still alive.
Really?
And then once those last 5 or 6 go, there's no more survivors of the Arizona.
Wow. See,
And that'll be, because most, not all, and I'm going to get teared up on this one because it really hits you in the feels.
Yeah.
Most survivors of the Arizona have chosen to have their remains put with the Arizona and they have a great ceremony for it. Like if you've ever got a chance to watch it, look it up on YouTube. Like I'm tearing up thinking about it, about wanting to be with their shipmates. And many of them went and served with other ships afterwards.
Yeah.
But they're still,
they wanted to
fight, and they choose to go back when it's their time to go. They choose to go back to be with the Arizona and their shipmates on the ship that were
awesome.
trapped.
So
like that
I've never been to Hawaii, but I've heard
we'll have to do
there's a whole like thing for the Arizona. They have like a whole little platform to go out to it. And I think that's cool. And it's because we're in Arizona, that's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
Because we're in Arizona, I think that's kind of a cool.
We need to go see it. Honestly, we should
That would
do
be
it as
awesome.
a trip. We should make it a business trip. Let the podcast pay for
Do a
it.
podcast out there?
I wouldn't do that.
In Hawaii.
In Hawaii, yes.
Yes. Like we go
near there,
trip,
I couldn't do it.
And then we can post some little videos from being
Yeah,
on
we
there.
could do that. I would not.
Want to do it out there.
I
yes.
wouldn't want to desecrate the
No.
the memorial.
Not out there, but I'm saying on the trip.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
On the trip, we could do a little podcast.
Get the ladies together, do a podcast. We'll
Be awesome.
They can be doing their thing on the beach, and we'll do a podcast with alcohol.
In our little Hawaiian shirts.
Our little Hawaiian shirts and our Speedos.
Which, speaking of, that's a funny thing. Yesterday, I had some Hawaiian food.
Oh God.
Oh, it was so amazing. It was so great. Terrible thing, they had no masubi.
Oh.
So you know what masubi is, right? Mm-hmm. The spam on the...
Spam.
That is so delicious. For the people that have never tried it, try some masubi. You won't regret it. It's delicious.
Yeah, it's actually not bad.
But we kind of squirreled off on there with
But I think that would be cool. That would be a cool thing to do.
That would be a cool little thing.
I want to go see the Arizona before
I do too.
my time's up. Because I spent most of my life now at this point here in Arizona. So
You're an Arizonan.
I'm an Arizonian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah, close enough. But yeah, so 1942 to 1945 wasn't really any cars made. We had great cars that came after.
Yeah.
They made some insane concepts in the 50s.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Like
the jet powered cars, like when the jet era hit, everything started like going crazy. Like remember, like they had like the Chrysler that had the dome, the glass dome, Could you imagine an Arizona heat with the oh my god, the sun with that thing cooking
All
you?
of a sudden, there's like a burnt spot in your car.
Yeah. Flip a goldfish bowl upside down and sit in the middle of it and see how that feels.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, Arizona's not this place for that, but
No.
But a lot of car manufacturers actually.
Yeah.
This is kind of on random, but a lot of car manufacturers. Ford has a proving ground out here.
Yep.
There's a lot of car manufacturers that
Because
have
of the heat.
Yes. And because of you have going back to what we started on, Arizona riding season.
Yep. You can test cars all year round.
Pretty much all year round.
I can honestly tell you I've had a bunch of different manufacturers that I've seen just through work. You know, you stop a car and then you realize there's 10 cars of the same model behind it and you're like, oh, what are you guys doing out here? Nothing. And every single one has a different tire on it.
Yeah.
So what they're doing is they're testing the tires for the stock tires. And they're like, we come out here because of the heat and the roads kind of suck.
Yeah, that is kind of a sad thing. If you really think about it,
Yeah.
we have terrible roads in Arizona.
But when you think about it, in the morning it's 30 degrees. In the evening it's 90.
so
So you're getting a 50 temperature degree swing. The materials on the roadways expand, contract, just like everything else. So that's why we get the potholes and we get all the crazy crap like that. I'm not surprised.
but it still sucks.
Oh, it's terrible.
Riding a motorcycle.
Oh yeah, you'll be like, oh, there's a pothole, and then you come back out 2 years later.
Oh, and then I find the same pothole you just did.
Well, I do have to say, nothing's worse potholes than St. Louis. Oh my gosh! Remember, I landed in that one and came out 2 years later.
Yeah,
like it was
and then
bad.
I bottomed out in that other one.
Yep.
Not good.
No,
That was not fun riding, but it was a good trip.
yeah, it was fun.
So, but
I've never had a really bad trip on a motorcycle.
that's what I was about to get to.
I've had bad things happen, but not a
Yes.
bad trip.
But it turns into that thing is you have an experience.
Yeah.
We'll say inexperience.
Yeah,
And you're never going to talk bad about it.
yeah,
If you're on the motorcycle, you're having a great
You're having
time.
fun. Yeah.
You're just like, yeah, that sucked, but
yeah. Then we stopped for lunch and we talked about it. Like that last trip back from Chicago, that lunch that we had on the side of a road in the middle of a town, and had the best tacos I'd had for a long time. And it wasn't even necessarily the meat in the tacos. It was their salsa was amazing.
and you know what? It could have also been just that we had been on
That
the road.
hungry. We had been on the road for 900 miles already. And we had 100 to go still to get home.
So
I tell you, that last 100, we made it quick though.
Oh, yeah,
we turned up the. Yeah, we opened up the throttles a little bit.
And then I went by
Yeah.
1,000 miles. Oh wait, no, it's not 1,000 miles. My bad. Oh, we actually hit 1,000 this time, guys. No, that was
What
great.
was it? That was funny. What was that? That was your math was terrible.
Yeah, my math was wrong.
We did it. We're like, no, we didn't.
I got it on video, so if you guys are interested, hit our
Yeah.
comments.
Let us know you want to see the video of him going, woo, and we're all like,
But to get you guys on our Patreon, don't forget about our Patreon. We got a lot of good stuff on there. Our last
A lot of
this
funny
episode, and probably the last one, not so much Patreon friendly because we've been we've toned it down a bit.
yeah, we have. It's really weird.
I know it's kind of
It's because I'm getting old.
it's probably that. It's probably because you're hurting.
Well, yeah, that doesn't help. I mean, it's been 3 weeks now that my back has been messed up.
You know what? I've had
I probably should go to the doctor, but
What are they going to tell you? Hey, your sciatica.
Hey, here, yeah. Oh, take some Tylenol.
Lose some weight.
I'm working on it.
Tell me they're not going to say that.
No,
though.
they are. They're gonna
They're
say that.
absolutely going to be like, lose some weight.
Did you drink beer twice this week?
No. That's not my favorite drink after work.
No, it's not my favorite drink before work either.
But on that note, I think we're hitting that time.
Yep, it's going to be that time. So I have to say, live good,
Ride hard.
and we'll catch you
Next time.
Next time.